They thought it was an easy target, a tiny boat, a defenseless crew, and a $300 million prize. They were wrong. In just 52 minutes, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard didn't just lose a battle, they lost their entire fleet. This is the story of how one routine patrol turned into a 52-minute massacre. You won't believe what was hiding under the deck of that civilian ship. Aerial supremacy, the devastating defeat of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard in the Persian Gulf. Today we take you into the seething waters of the Persian Gulf, where a conflict broke out in early January 2026 that held the world in suspense. Imagine under the scorching sun on crystal clear water, a routine patrol escalates into one of the most devastating blows against the Iranian Navy in history. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps IRGC made the fatal mistake of attacking a small American patrol boat, triggering a chain of events that reduced their entire command structure in the Gulf to rubble and ash. This is the story of Operation Swift Guardian, a 52-minute inferno that dramatically demonstrated the superiority of the US Navy. The Persian Gulf, this vital artery of world trade through which a fifth of the global oil flows, has been a powder keg for decades. Around 75 US Navy ships constantly patrol here to ensure freedom of navigation and to ward off Tehran's continuous provocations. Most of the time, these are limited to aggressive maneuvers, radio threats, or dangerously close flybys. But in early January 2026, Iran crossed a red line. They planned a brazen boarding attempt on an American ship to hijack highly secret equipment worth $300 million and take the crew hostage, a humiliation intended to be broadcast live on Iranian state television. On the early morning of a day in early January 2026, the USS Tempest, a Cyclone-class coastal patrol boat with a crew of only 28 and a length of just 52 meters, left the port of Jebel Ali in the United Arab Emirates. The mission escorting the civilian freighter Pacific Guardian through international waters to Bahrain. On board the freighter, high-value classified electronic intelligence equipment for the US Navy's 5th Fleet. The commander, Lieutenant Commander Marcus Chen, briefed his crew clearly and unequivocally. "This is sensitive cargo. Should Iranian forces intervene, we will defend it by all means." What Chen kept quiet was explosive US intelligence had intercepted Iranian communications indicating planned provocations. The threat was real. Towards noon, both ships crossed into open international waters. Iranian coastal radar stations tracked them intensely, and radio traffic exploded. Intercepted messages from Bandar Abbas read, "American patrol boat, valuable cargo, boarding opportunity." At approximately 1:30 p.m., 8 high-speed IRGC attack boats launched from their base in Bandar Abbas, fully armed with boarding parties on board ladders and grappling hooks ready. They raced at top speed directly toward the course of the USS Tempest. The 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain immediately alerted 8 Iranian speedboats approaching. Estimated arrival 30 minutes. Rules of engagement: defensive fire only upon attack or boarding attempt. Chen ordered battle readiness 25mm chain gun, P-3 50 caliber machine guns, MK-19 grenade launchers, all manned. The Tempest was small but lethal, but 8 against 1, the Iranians expected easy prey. They did not realize they were making 5 catastrophic mistakes. First mistake, the Tempest immediately sent an encrypted emergency buoy and automatic alarm to all US ships in the Gulf. Second mistake, 2 Arleigh Burke destroyers, USS Milius and USS Deo, were only 18 nautical miles away and were rushing in at full steam. Third mistake, 4 MH-60R Seahawk helicopters armed with Hellfire missiles and door machine guns were already in the air. Fourth mistake, the carrier strike group of the USS Ronald Reagan 60 nautical miles away, lightning fast, launched 12 FA-18 Super Hornets. Fifth and most fatal mistake, below deck of the civilian freighter Pacific Guardian, 12 elite Navy SEALs were hidden fully equipped for exactly this nightmare. Iran thought they were hijacking a helpless patrol boat. Instead, they woke a sleeping giant. At approximately 1:47 p.m., the 8 Iranian boats surrounded the Tempest and the freighter in an aggressive formation. Engines roared, deafeningly armed crews were visible. The lead boat radioed arrogantly, "American ship, you are in Iranian waters. Illegal cargo, stop engines immediately, we will board and inspect." Chen countered coldly, "Negative, international waters, no authorization, keep your distance or we will open fire." The Iranians only laughed. 8 boats against 1 tiny ship, we are coming. They accelerated through grappling hooks and set up ladders. Chen gave the order. Warning shots, the Tempest's 25mm chain gun thundered volleys hit 50 meters ahead of the bows. Tracer ammunition from the 50 calibers drew fiery lines across the water, but the Iranians ignored everything and continued racing forward. 1:49 p.m. The first Iranian boat pulls up to the port side. Hooks fly, 3 Revolutionary Guards climb up the ladder. That was the line crossed. Propelled boarders fire at will at close range. American sailors opened fire with M4 carbines. 3 boarders hit falling back into the boat. A second boat approaches the starboard side, another boarding attempt. Suddenly, the freighter Pacific Guardian springs to life. Hatches fly open, 12 Navy SEALs storm out full combat gear. M4 carbines, sniper rifles, grenade launchers. They roar over loudspeakers. This is the US Navy SEAL team. Illegal boarding maneuver. Stop immediately or we will destroy you with lethal force. The Iranians didn't believe it and continued to attack. SEAL snipers opened precise fire. Helmsmen and mechanics hit boats spinning out of control. Chaos rained small arms fire from both sides. SEALs eliminating targets with surgical precision. Tempest hammering with onboard weapons. The Americans are outnumbered and surrounded, but then the cavalry arrives. 1:52 p.m. 4 MH-60R Seahawk helicopters thunder in at an altitude of 60 meters. An American voice booms from loudspeakers. Iranian boats. This is the US Navy. Disengage immediately. You are being targeted by attack helicopters and approaching fighter jets. Retreat or destruction. The Iranians hesitate. Look up, see door gunners with MGs. Hellfire missiles ready. The lead boat radioed defiantly. We are the Revolutionary Guard. We have the right to board. Chen interrupts. You have fired upon a US ship and boarded. You are now enemy combatants. 5 seconds to retreat. The boats turn away, but then the final madness. An Iranian commander fires an RPG-7 at a helicopter. The rocket whizzes past by only 15 meters. That was it. Rules of engagement met Iran shot first. All stations weapons free against enemy boats. 4 helicopters simultaneously fire 8 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. Each one hits a boat. Explosions tear 4 Iranian speedboats apart. Crews vaporize debris flying. The remaining 4 boats flee in panic toward the coast. Too late. 1:54 p.m. 12 FA-18 Super Hornets race in at Mach 1.2. The sonic boom echoes across the water. All flights, weapons free, sink them. 8 AGM-84 Harpoon anti-ship missiles fired overkill for small boats, but the message must be absolute. 4 more explosions, nothing remains but burning fuel and wreckage. 1:56 p.m. Only 9 minutes after the boarding attempt, all 8 Iranian boats destroyed. Approximately 84 Revolutionary Guards dead. Tempest slightly damaged, 3 wounded, not life-threatening. Freighter unharmed, cargo secure. But the US response was not yet over. 1:57 p.m. The Fifth Fleet is not satisfied with mere defense. Admiral Michael Warner evaluates the footage. Illegal boarding shots at helicopters attack in international waters. This is piracy. He requests from CENTCOM authorization for follow-up strikes against IRGC command infrastructure. Response within 90 seconds approved. Targets Bandar Abbas, base, command centers, ammunition depots, fuel depots, docks, radar stations, plus secondary bases on islands. 2:00 p.m. Milius and Deo prepare 90 Tomahawk cruise missiles, each ready 180 in total. 2:03 p.m. 60 Tomahawks fired thunder over the water missiles, racing at 900-kilometer-h toward the coast. 2:05 p.m. Super Hornets receive new targets, sink all outgoing IRGC boats. 2:08 p.m. Iranian command in Bandar Abbas detects 60 incoming missiles. Panic air defense activated evacuation too late. 2:21 p.m. The volley hits synchronously. Command headquarters direct hit. Building collapses. Sector commander and staff dead. Communications center destroyed. Ammunition depot chain. Explosion shockwave felt up to 40 km away. Docks collapsed. 3 missile boats and 2 corvettes in the dock destroyed. 7 patrol boats and other ships in berths sunk. Radar installation systematically wiped out. Barracks crushed, 300 dead there alone. Further attacks on island bases, Abu Musa, Keshem Larak, everything eliminated. By 2:39 p.m. 43 Iranian ships destroyed 6 bases, wiped out command center, obliterated over 762 dead in the IRGC Navy. Iran dared to attack a small patrol boat and lost its entire sector fleet. Dear listeners, what do you think? Was this overwhelming response justified, or did America go too far? Tehran speaks of aggression, Washington of necessary defense. Call us or write to us, your opinion counts. This was Operation Swift Guardian, 52 minutes of total destruction, a clear message. Never attack a US ship, never fire on US helicopters, never try to hijack US cargo, because within minutes your fleet is history, your bases are ruins, and your commanders are dead. The supremacy of the US Navy remains unchallenged, never underestimated again. This was Supremazia Aerial. Stay tuned next week more about the air superiority that is changing the world.